Hello everyone, this is Stephanie. Welcome to another video. So today we're going to work on this tubular or filled netting bracelet. And this is another how-to video. That was a request a while back, and I love that I'm getting to a lot of the requests that have been sort of piling up a bit. And this is such a pretty stitch. Another one of those stitches that gives you maximum payoff for really not a lot of effort and just a few beads. So let's take a look at it. So it's going to be a bangle, which I thought it would be fun. Sort of into my bangles lately. It grows very quickly. So these two are in a 4mm fire polish, and this is that navy nebulous luster from the dollar bead box. Love this bead. I ordered a bunch of them, and some pearls, and these are hematite beads and pearls. So if you have a whole bunch of 4mm from your bead box or your bead bag from your bead bag, you can use this here, and you'll make beautiful bracelets out of them. So here are the ones with the 4mm, and now I'm working on this one. This one still has the thread attached to the needle, but this is a big baby. This is with all 6mm fire polish. So I have this turquoise copper and it's hard to see, but this is a purple, or a deep purple or deep amethyst color. I'll have to check that. So here we're going to make the bracelet. I'm going to give you all the materials for this. The demo is going to be with the bigger beads just because it's easier to see, but a very cool, very easy stitch, really beginner friendly and really fun. So I'm going to clear the decks, and then we'll get a materials list going and we'll get started. All right, see you in a few. Let's get a materials list going. So for the big one, you'll need 2 colors of 11/0 seed beads. So you need one for the netting and one for the crossover bead. You'll need 2 colors of 6mm fire polish beads. And I'll put the colors in the description box and the amounts in the description box below the video. You'll need a size 10 beading needle and some 8-pound or Fireline or Wildfire. Heavier the better, because this is a heavy bracelet. And a little stop bead. If you're doing the 4mm bracelet, you'll need 2 colors of 15/0 seed beads, one for the netting, one for the crossover, and 2 colors of fire polish, or to any 4mm, or really any 6mm if you're doing the bigger one. So here I did pearls, and these are the fire polish, so you can put anything in there. The only thing I probably wouldn't suggest is a bicone, just because, I don't know, lately people have been saying bicones are cutting the thread. Going through these a lot, I don't know. I mean, I think it would look fine. It just might be concerned cutting the thread. I'm not sure. All right, you'll need a size 11 or 12 beading needle if you're doing the 4mm one. And the same Fireline or a Wildfire I think would still work on the smaller bracelet, and of course the stop bead. All right, so gather up your materials and we'll get started making this bracelet. All right, see you in a few. Okay, we're back. So thread your needle with about, comfortable length of Fireline. You'll be adding thread. Put on a stop bead and leave about an 8 to 10 inch tail. Want to put on your needle one of your fire polish, a crossover bead, a fire polish, a crossover bead, a fire polish, and a crossover bead. So this is what I have. Just like that. I'm going to make that into a circle. Just going to sew through all the beads. Just like that. I'm just going to keep coming around. Now when you choose your beads, you can do a contrasting bead or not. It's just easier for you to see if I'm using a contrasting bead. So I try to use something where the color is similar, or you can, make it a highly contrasted if you like. So there we go, I'm just going to hold it this way, coming out of a crossover bead. Now I'm going to pick up 4 of my netting beads, a crossover bead, and 4 netting beads. Just like that. I'm going to pull my stop bead out of the way. So you're coming out of this crossover bead, come through the next one. Just like that. It's just going to surround my my crystal. Pick up 4 netting beads, a crossover, and 4 netting beads. Oh, I don't like that one. Crossover and 4 netting. Just like that. Coming out of this bead, just come around, come to the next one. This is such an easy stitch if you haven't done it before. 4 netting, crossover, 4 netting. Oops. Come through the next crossover bead, just like that. So what you're going to end up with are your 3 beads that are surrounded by your netting beads and crossover beads. We're going to actually kind of push them up a little bit. I mean, they're going to go by themselves, but we'll help it along a little bit if we need to. All right, so you're coming out of this crossover bead. So we're going to step up now. So you want to just needle through the next 4 netting beads and the next crossover bead. That's going to set us up. Now we're going to pull it up a little bit, just like that. It's going to set us up for filling it with some crystals. So now I'm going to my other color, my second color of my my fire polish, and I'm coming out of this crossover bead right here. I'm just going to hop over to the next one right here. I'm going to pull. And it's very loose to begin with, but it'll tighten up. And you want to make sure your tension is good on this too. So we're coming out of this crossover, come to the next one, and attach another bead. See how it's starting to pull together a little bit? Tension is important on this. You don't want it too loose. Pick up another crystal or fire polish, come through the next crossover bead, just like that. Now we have our first section on. So we're coming out of a crossover bead. Now, because these beads are so big, and even the smaller beads, I just go around all the beads again. So I'm coming through the fire polish, the netting bead, the crossover, fire polish, crossover, fire polish, crossover. It just tightens things up. I just like to do it that way. So that's what we have. Now, I'm going to bring my netting beads over here. Going to pick up 4 netting beads, a crossover, and 4 netting beads. I'm coming out of this crossover bead. I'm just going to hop over to the next one, just like that. Let me just pull in a teeny bit more. There we go. Pick up 4 netting beads, a crossover, 4 netting beads. You're coming out of this crossover bead, just hop over to the next one. Just like that. 4 netting beads, a crossover, and 4 netting beads. Through the last crossover, and you could just sort of slide your way up if you want to. And you're headed to come through this guy. So actually I'm just going to do it separately. Well, they went through a couple. So here just like that, and then we're just going to keep going until we come through the top crossover bead. Okay, this is what that looks like. Now we're going to fill again. Pick up your other color. Put that one on. Pick up another one. Come through the next crossover bead. How easy is this, huh? I mean, it's, again, maximum payoff for just a very easy stitch. Through the next one, crossover bead. This is what you have. So this is how we're starting. It's just like this is this one right here. See that? And if you look at this just as it is, this is a beautiful beaded bead. You can just finish the edges and you could just use this as a beaded bead. So what's very cool about this, again, very versatile stitch. All right, so what I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to reinforce all the way around. Just like that. And that's the whole thing. Easy. So just keep going. So you want to keep going until you have your bangle length. Now it's going to be different than your bracelet length. So here's this one. I took it apart. You know, I didn't connect it all the way so that you can see. For my about 7-inch bracelet length, I did this big wide one is about 8 inches. This one came out about 7.5, 7.5, 8. But instead of just doing that, just make sure that when you go to put this on, it has to go through this part, around this part of your hand. So there, you're going to connect just like this. So see how it's snug up against there, but it will touch once it's sewn together. So just make sure you go like this, and it can get around here. That's the only way you're going to get a perfect fit on this. You know, if you guesstimate it, it is probably just going to be too big or too small. All right, so keep going and just make it your length, and just keep measuring, and then meet me back here, and I'll show you how to sew it together, and we'll have a bangle. All right, see you in a few. Back. So before we sew this together, you want to make sure of 2 things. One, you want to make sure that your lines are meeting properly, and you want to make sure you have the 2 separate different colors at either end, like that, so it all meets together nicely. And then you want this line, see? So my purple line is going to be coming all the way around and meeting right here. All right, so pick up 4 of your netting beads. We're coming out of this bead, this crossover bead right here. I'm going to pull in super tight because I didn't use the lighter beads on this. So here's my crossover bead. So just make sure the first one is really important. You want to make sure that the colors match here. So you're coming out of this one, just come down this one, just like that. All right, so now you're good. You're not going to mess it up. All right, so then pick up 4 netting beads, and you're going to come. And what I do is I'm just kind of twirling it around a little bit. So you're coming out of this crossover bead here. You want to come through the one on the other side, right there. We're always going down. You know, we're in that direction, going down. We're not going to change direction here. Okay, just like that. And then I'm just going to twist it around a little bit. I'm going to pick up 4 netting beads. Coming out of this crossover, just come down this one. So I'm always going down, or this way. Then I'm just going to twist it around a little bit, just like that. 1, 2, 3, 4 netting beads. I'm going to do it on the other side now. You can pull it tight after. So I'm going down this one now. Only going in that direction. I'm just staying in that direction. Just like that. I'm just going to twist it around a little bit. 4 netting beads. Come on this side. Just twist it around a little bit. 4 netting beads. I'm going to come on this one, come through this crossover bead. And that's going to be my last bead that I'm going to come through. And now that's going to be, that gives you a nice continuous netting. You see that? And then you're just going to come through and reinforce this. You want to make sure this is really nicely reinforced. So I'm coming through the fire polish, coming through the crossover bead, twisting it around, coming through the fire polish, coming through the crossover bead, pull, fire polish, crossover bead. Now you can start putting some knots in. I wanted you to get a couple of really 2 or 3. You should have lots of space in there. With the 4mm and the 15-0s, you'll have a little less space, but you can still get it. So now that I have it nice and tight, I'm going to pull. I'm going to I'm going to grab a thread underneath, just like that. I'm going to make a half hitch knot. I'm going to come through again. You want to do this as many times as you can to make it nice and tight. All right, so go around and get that done, and then meet me back here, and we'll look at our bracelets. All right, see you in a few. All right, we're back, and here they are. So let's put them all on. I'll put this one on. And then here, I haven't cut the thread off this yet, but we'll get that one on. Oh, that's a big guy. I need to pull that out a little bit. And here, we'll put this one on. All right, so we've got big, beautiful bracelets, eh? Pretty nice. All right, well, there you go. I hope you enjoyed this video. Very easy, very fun. Make a necklace, use all pearls, use all, any 4 or 6 millimeter beads, and just have fun with it. All right, so take care, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.